So you guys did the Armenian hip hop cipher.
Yeah.
So how did that come together?
Same way, man. Like
Chilla was the link for that?
Man, yeah, Chilla. Like, I didn't know too many Armenian rappers, you know what I mean? So Chilla was kind of the first person that I started talking to in that world. And he was a producer and a rapper, but he was on some barred up shit, and he was into Wu-Tang a lot, and he was into old kung fu flicks a lot.
Okay,
so he used to tell me, come to the house, I'm gonna show you, you know, we're gonna watch these movies, da-da-da.
Yeah.
And we just kind of created a bond. And then through him, I met all the other kind of Armenian MCs, and Armenian was one of them. And eventually, that when the Armenian cipher came around, he hollered at me to come jump into it.
Yeah, and that was real, man, because, you know, you
was
one...
That's a classic, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And then I just, even back then, I'm like, Antonian, Patrick Antonian. Okay, yeah, his verse was good. And then, you know what I mean? So, like, that's really what made you...
It's weird. I still get people to this day, like, will stop me and say the verse.
Going on, people were like moving here, seeing filthy shit, and then being like, and then start kind of repping, but still be like, when you know you see them, they be like, yo, I'm from blah blah blah, b. Like for like 10 years though, you've been here for 10 years, and you're still telling me you're from blah blah blah, b. Okay, but on your cut, you're repping the town. Right. I don't know. It was maybe I'm just being a weirdo MC nigga about that shit, but I'm like, come on, man, just rep what you rep, say that shit. We had figured out there were these other dudes called First Platoon. We started the crew Alpha P. Like, we shorted up. You know, Anunnaki politics, African people, all people, Alpha people, you know what I'm saying? Alpha Platoon. And, you know, there were several different subdivisions within that because our crew had like 13 or 16 members at that time. Wow. And, B-boys, graph writers, MCs. And then from there, we started another crew where we merged with 5 other groups from different parts of Seattle that had all of the different elements in it as well. Wow. And that was where we got Project Mayhem. Okay. So Project Mayhem was like Alpha P, the Mind Movers crew, which also had a couple of members of Alpha P in it. And then there was like DJ B Girl and Julie C. She had already been riding with Alpha P for a minute at that time. Who else? There was another crew of cats.
The street lights just came on. Lights just came on. The street lights just came on. Lights just came on. The street lights just came on. Lights just came on. The street lights just came on. Lights just came on.
Yes, sir. Just trying to live my life before my time expires and balance what I truly need and all of my desires. Who I admire, those not scared up in a line of fire. Motivated to succeed, I was focused on climbing higher. But some don't, now they ghost up on the corner, man. Gone without no warning, damn, they never reached the promised land. Now with mother's morning fam, got robbed like a Sonics fan. Time flies, seems like yesterday she seen a sonogram. At times it's hard to stand, in the end just hold your own. This food right here is for your dome. For times you're feeling so alone, without a choice of going home. And so you go and roam, and even if you do right, evil folks will still be throwing stones. I pour a drink and reminisce about all the summers past, and pour some for my dogs that passed. The miles on the dash are clocking fast, they were right from the start. I hope this verse can be your light in the dark, like the street lights.
The street lights just came on. Lights just came on. The street lights just came on. Lights just came on. The street lights just came on. Lights just came on. The street lights just came on. Lights just came on.
One time, just trying to live my life before I leave this earth. And I'm burnt to ashes, on my body sent to sleep in dirt. Thinking about the people first, cause some are just elite their worth. I hope that on the other side, the sufferers are reimbursed. But who knows, am I wrong to question God's existence? Been losing my religion, from my view it's cause division. Don't blind your vision, try to see within the time you're given. Don't mean everybody, but some are righteous, spending lives just sinning. And lies they swimming, so on that note I'm on the fence. Until the day the common sense will come, when it all makes sense. Blame my mind, don't blame my heart, just trying to make my mark on this world before I'm gone. Time to crack this maker's mark, and pour a drink and reminisce about all the summers past, and pour some for my dogs that passed. The miles on the dash are clocking fast, they were right from the start. I hope this verse can be your light in the dark, like the street lights.
The street lights just came on. Lights just came on. The just came on. Lights just came on. Lights just came on. Lights just came on. Lights just came on.
Because, you know, Christian media is kind of like, they still have that stigma of being corny, which I think a lot of it's corny myself, and too safe. When I say safe, meaning they don't want to touch on this and that because they feel like, oh, it's not godly, but we're still in this world and there's still a lot of stories to tell, but you can always relate it back to a positive message. So that's what I want to do with that. And I want to target the Christian audience, which is, there's a lot of us out there, but nobody really wants to make content for us that we can enjoy, that we can get a good story out of, besides just people getting killed and drugs and sex and all that. With no message at the end. It's just, that was just it. And so I feel like I'm going to be the Kirk Franklin of film production. That's right.
Not by your usual names like Tupac and Biggie, nah. I can't even lie to you like that. Like, I was inspired by Eminem. I was inspired by Ludacris to really do that.
Yeah, real talk, me too.
And Outkast,
I think about that,
And then I have to put Big right there. So like, when I started hearing that, I just thought it was super cool. You feel me? I started getting older. I would write. You feel me? A lot of my different surroundings I would put into my music and stuff. And I wasn't really like good at anything else. You feel me? So I try to sharpen the tool that I was good at, which was writing music and things like that. So like when I would go to school, you know, sometimes I get bad grades, and you feel me, I wouldn't understand some of the things, so I would go and resort to, you know, some of the music that I write, or go listen to like some of the music that I did like, you know, like Luda and things like that.
I ain't nobody.
So it inspired me.
I'm just gonna come sell about 8 million, and then I'm gonna get the fuck out your way. So you can go. I'ma get all the way out the way. Nigga got a V12 engine mouth till I bust that chrome. They screaming like a bitch when them hollow tips crushed in bumps. When I call 50 Banks and Young Buck gets song, they bringin' heavy artillery. When I chirp that phone, grew up with the Holy Ghost, went to church from home. Bad boy since birth, like Justin Combs. Been to the county jail once, it ain't feel like home. Promise to never go back if niggas left me alone. But the hood is the hood, niggas hate to see me getting money, so I cut the grass and I can see the snake niggas coming. They don't want me to be the best, so I prepare for the worst. You got a Teflon vest, let me see if it works. Niggas that spend the rest of their life trying to put me under, but till the day I die, G-Unit gon' ride. Niggas that spend the rest of their life trying to put me under. Hate all you want from your living room, but don't come outside. Niggas that spend the rest of their life trying to put me under. If you only think it's the album, come see if I'm back. Niggas that spend the rest of their life trying to put me under. Try and I'll make you my bitch. Niggas suck my skin like every other city I go. Niggas is fake. Down bottom LA to uptown New York State. No disrespect to my fans, I mean the nigga that'll shake your hand, kiss your daughter on the cheek, snitch on you, then take the stand. Nigga that live by the motto, money make the man. He ain't gotta walk home, the sergeant let him take the van.
You know, how did you come up with the name? You know what I mean? And what was your vision for when you first started?
Zooited Gang was originally Out of Control Music, right? That's what I originally wanted to call my label. Because fucking around with Mr. Loon, myself, and Dre Weaves, we all had a different like style of rap music. So it was like, this shit's out of control. So it would be Out of Control Music. And before we can get shit right and shit like that, Dre Weaves ended up leaving the group and shit like that. And Mr. Loon had his trials and tribulations. So I was like, we can call it Zooited Gang. I had a whole bunch of little cats. Like, shout out to my little bro Corday, he booked right now. Shout out to little Jalen, he booked too. Damn. But yeah, them little niggas was under my wing and shit. And they was rapping with me. Shout out to my little brother Terry Hoover and shit. We converted to We Trying to Eat an Entertainment in the Zooited Gang just because my name ring bells on.
You done some tracks with Young Tone?
Yeah, I definitely done some tracks with Young Tone. Me and Young Tone met on it was like a humbug. I'm at home. I used to live down in Old Town. I'm at home.
Oh, at the Westgate.
Yeah, and my mother-in-law comes upstairs like, yo, you know, I was outside smoking a cigarette, and it's a young brother down there that, you know, was asking about music, and I told him that, you know, my son-in-law produces and stuff like that. And I came down there, and Tone was right there. He spit for me. I was like, you know, He reminds me of DMX, man. Like, he reminds me of that aggression. He's like so creative, witty, and his aggression with his lyrics and his passion is definitely something that, you know, motivated me, and we, you know, linked up and got together. Was working on this mixtape, and his work ethic is crazy.
Absolutely.
You know, he makes me feel young again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Winter solstice. Yeah. On the eve of a new year, shifting into new gears, clear with a new lens. I lost enough friends. Blessed to reconnect with real ones from decades gone. Something brand new that feels like an old song. I remember being in parts dismembered. Heart healing in December, darkest part of winter, shining with all my might, just to have a little light. As long as I know I gave it all I had, I will be alright, no matter how this lands. You can't measure impact from the eye of a storm, and that center of chaos is where I was born. Those drug wars that forced hip-hop to form, so sharp and cutting. Real life you're bumping, we didn't come from nothing. What we had got stole, and we're still running underneath the sniper scope. We all know, so folks find ways to cope, and I keep on losing my people to cope. Crack crystal balls, watch futures fall. I can't catch them all, or any. My advice gets drowned out with the Henny. So, I don't know what else to say. We just take it day by day. Take what you afraid of and stare it in the face. Call it by its name and watch it change. I don't know what else to say. Just take it day by day. How you do anything, how you do everything. Maybe we should start with the little thing. I told my little cousin, smoke herb, don't drink. He was in high school already experimenting. I never had enough influence to sway him away from the bottle. Life is full throttle. We still got time though. I'm learning to let go of my expectations of the best and worst. Alcohol still triggers my deepest hurts. I've lost friends to crack, but they were drinking first. I fell out of love with a woman I adored. When she was at the bar, I was easy to ignore. Have you ever loved someone, looked deep in their eyes, and knew everything that they said was a lie, while knowing exactly what they were trying to hide? I wasn't judging, so I couldn't see why. We couldn't even have a real talk at the time, and I'm not trying to diagnose anybody now. As the empire crumbles, we're all falling down. I write songs when it's hard to reach out, hoping that somebody feels me. Cause where I'm at, it's like nobody hears me. I don't know what else to say. We just take it day by day. Take what you afraid of, stare it in the face. Call it by its name and watch it change. I don't know what else to say. Just take it day by day. How you do anything, how you do everything. Maybe we should start with the little things. Maybe that's why we all try to describe the vibe. If we don't, we die. And I mean that quite literal. Music kept me alive, time is critical. I've been sober ever since I held my first mic in. When I write, there's nowhere I can hide. I set the stage on fire to feel alive. Cool walls easy when the people feel me. There's no greater high, could imagine to find. It gets hard and scary and dark sometimes.
I don't need no spick pimp motherfucker looking at me like I'm no fucking queen. I'm just a sorry ass nigga home. James here, he looks at me like I'm nothing, so I'm down with you.
You ain't nothing.